Today's episode covers a mix of strategy shifts and product rumors. Chinese pickup competition, a possible new Buick sedan on GM's Alpha platform, Bentley's continued profitability and site transformation, headlines tying Bentley to an EV slowdown, and Bentley's announcement of hundreds of UK job cuts. Welcome back to Autonews Daily. I'm Leah Morgan. Let's dive into today's headlines. First up, Ford's chief executive has been talking about the rise of Chinese pickup trucks and what that means for global competition. The comments highlight a growing focus among legacy automakers on how to respond to more aggressive entrants from China, especially in segments like pickups where brand loyalty and cost structures are changing. For Ford, a company built on pickups in many markets, those comments are a reminder that product planning, pricing, and go-to-market strategy will need to account for competitors that can leverage scale, new supply chains, and a fast pace of model rollout. This isn't just about 2 or 3 models, it's about a potential new dynamic in vehicle segments where volume and margin matter. A rising number of Chinese manufacturers are targeting international markets with purpose-built pickup designs, competitive pricing, and rapid electrification plans, raising questions about how established OEMs will defend their turf while investing in their own electrified, connected vehicles. For listeners, that means watching how distribution partnerships, local manufacturing, and feature differentiation play out, and how companies like Ford balance short-term competitiveness with long-term technology investments. Moving on to product rumors, a new Buick sedan is reported to be under consideration on GM's Alpha platform. If this rumor proves true, it would be notable because it signals a continued willingness to invest in sedan architecture for certain markets, even as SUVs dominate sales across many regions. The Alpha platform has been associated with a focus on driving dynamics and a premium feel in GM's recent lineup, so a Buick sedan on that underpinnings would suggest an attempt to marry comfort with a more engaging driving character. Rumors like this also point to a broader strategic balancing act. Manufacturers must decide where sedans still have value, how to position them against crossovers, and what customer groups they aim to attract. For Buick, a sedan could serve as a halo product or a targeted offering for markets where traditional 3-box cars retain appeal. As always with rumors, nothing is confirmed until official details are released, but it's worth following because platform choices often reveal deeper intentions about investment priorities, market segmentation, and expectations for regional demand. Next, Bentley has issued a report marking its 7th consecutive year of profitability while describing ongoing site transformation work. That combination, sustained profitability alongside significant change at manufacturing sites, reflects the unique pressures and opportunities luxury automakers face as they transition product lines and modernize facilities. For a heritage brand, profitability over multiple consecutive years signals effective control over costs, pricing power, and the ability to maintain margins even as product strategy evolves. At the same time, site transformation is more than a buzzword. It involves retooling factories, retraining workforces, and aligning production for new powertrains and handcrafted processes that high-end buyers expect. Bentley's update suggests a company balancing the need to invest in its future while protecting today's financial performance. For the industry, stories like this illustrate how premium brands can be both stable and in flux, using profitability to fund the shifts necessary to remain relevant in an electric, tech-forward market. Now, a smooth transition to our next item. Despite the positive profitability note, other coverage has focused on more difficult operational realities at Bentley, with reports that the company plans to cut hundreds of jobs in the UK amid a challenging global market environment. Those reports point to a difficult juxtaposition, a manufacturer that remains profitable on paper but is adjusting headcount and operations in response to market headwinds. The job reductions are framed in the context of wider industry challenges, including slower than expected adoption in certain electric segments and the costs associated with transformation. This is an important development because it touches on workforce dynamics, local economies, and the human side of industrial change. When a high-profile manufacturer like Bentley announces significant job reductions, it reverberates through supplier networks and regional communities. Companies often describe such moves as necessary to align capacity with demand and to accelerate restructuring or electrification plans, but the immediate effect is a loss of livelihoods for those affected and a renewed focus on how governments, companies, and communities manage industrial transitions. Before we turn to our closing story, a brief call to action: like and subscribe. It helps us keep bringing the news to you. Finally, the most prominent story today: Bentley's announcement to cut hundreds of UK jobs amid a challenging global market environment. This is the story receiving the most attention because it directly impacts people, operations, and the visible footprint of a storied brand. Reports describe the decision as a response to slower demand dynamics in some segments and the pressures of transitioning product lines, particularly as the industry grapples with electrification timelines and changing consumer behavior. Putting this into context, the news underscores the tension many automakers face right now. On one hand, manufacturers are investing in new technology, electrified platforms, and production changes. On the other hand, market volatility and shifting uptake of electric vehicles can force difficult short-term choices. For Bentley, a brand that has both heritage and a luxury customer base, this means balancing bespoke product expectations with the economics of modern automotive manufacturing. For employees and local stakeholders, the immediate concern is mitigation, retraining, redeployment where possible, and support measures. For the broader industry, the announcement is a reminder that even profitable premium manufacturers are not immune to rapid market shifts. That wraps up today's coverage. Thank you for spending time with Autonews Daily. We'll be back tomorrow with fresh updates from across the automotive world. Thank you, and see you tomorrow.